Hello Wolfpack, just getting into this quickly here. We've got a bit of an update on Bitcoin and how we're tracking towards our 113k price prediction by January the 6th, because that is the price prediction that we've stuck by. Right, we made this in, I think, probably early September, and we adjusted it slightly in terms of the date, not the price, at the very, very start of October, due to be the Q3 close, which was necessary to finish our calculation. And I'm still sticking by it, right? I'm still standing by it, 113k by January the 6th. I'm not going to get too deep into how I came to this price prediction in this video, because I've done it before, right? Just go and watch my previous video on this price prediction. But essentially, just the bare minimum you need to know is that it's based off of cyclical theory. It's based off the fact that we've had these bullish Q4s and we've extrapolated that data, adjusted it for diminishing returns and adjusted it for slightly lengthening cycles. As you can see, minus 54.8% returns per cycle and plus 19 days per cycle as for the Q4 pump, right? And that's why we needed the Q3 close data to actually take that as a starting point and add it to our prediction. And we made that prediction back here at the start of October, right? So we're still standing by it and we're actually tracking quite nicely towards it ever since we started this prediction, ever since we made this prediction, which was originally back here in early September. We've gone up from around 43k to around 69k, which is great to see, right? So it's happening quite well. We're tracking nicely, and you can see we're towards this the center of this bullish momentum phase, and we're towards the center of the price we're meant to be at as well. So we really truly are on track currently. As to whether they'll keep up, that's the question we're going to be kind of answering in this video, and we're going to be kind of consolidating and bringing together our knowledge and what we have from the past to extrapolate into the future and understand where we are in the cycle. So, you know, this is basically the overview of everything that's happening in cryptocurrency market. And by the way, before we get into anything, you'll notice that my peak isn't actually in December. A lot of people say December peak. I don't think that's the case, right? I think we're lengthening by around 19 days. Will take us into very early January, the 6th of January for Bitcoin, right? So not December, but basically the same thing. And as for the last cycle, and this is one of the reasons why I don't believe in lengthening cycles too much. Yet technically my theory is a lengthening cycles theory because it's lengthening by 19 days. But I don't believe in things like what Benjamin Cohen is saying at this current moment in time, which is where they're saying we're going to go deep into 2022, possibly into 2023. I don't think that's going to happen. The reason why they come to those predictions is because they look at the this cycle over here, which wasn't actually a cycle, right? This is 2010, 2011, 2012, before we even had a halving, right? I'm taking my data from the halving, which is actually the start of the 4-year cycle theory, because the whole 4-year cycle theory is based off of the halving. So it doesn't really make sense to take data from this region. What they're doing is they're saying that, hey, this cycle lasted a certain amount of time. This one got longer, this one got longer, so why wouldn't this one get longer, right? But what they're failing to understand is that this cycle wasn't actually a cycle. It was just random price action, not based off the halving, right? We've only had 2 full cycles previously, and to say that, hey, we're going to lengthen by months and months and months based off of one data point, which is what these are, right? Connecting their one data point, seems kind of counterlogical to me, right? Doesn't really make sense to me. So that's why I don't really believe in going deep into 2022 or possibly into 2023. I genuinely think we're going to peak out in January, possibly December, right? But most likely January. And then altcoin's going to run for about an extra month, and Ethereum's going to peak out start of February. That's my personal prediction. Now, obviously, I'm open to change. I'm open to changing that. If we get into December, we get into early January and we're nowhere near the target and everything still looks undervalued, then obviously I'm open to changing the price prediction. That's what this is all about, right? This is about adjusting your prediction models based off new data. So I'm not going to just stand by a prediction I think is going to fail, but as of right now, I genuinely stand by it because I think it's going to play out. And obviously you can't really be precise, right? You can't really say, we're going to 113k by January the 6th exactly, and then we're going to top out exactly at that point, exactly at that price. You just can't do that yet, right? We don't have enough data at all. We've only had 2 full cycles, so this really shouldn't be taken too seriously. This is a rough guideline, right? A rough guideline. Give or take a week, give or take 10%. I'd say something like that. But that's what I'm thinking right now. That's my best guess as to what will happen. So we're looking at the previous cycles, and we're on the daily chart here, just on total all-time index on Bitcoin here on the daily chart. Where are we right now? We are at about November the 14th, right, in my time zone here. November the 14th, and we've moved up substantially, right? We've still got a ways to go. We've still got, a decent amount to go. We've got, let's just measure it out quickly, about about 53 to 54 days, I think 52 days, something like that. And we've got about 75%, 70% until our prediction model, right? Until our prediction takes place. Now, where were we in previous cycles? Is this achievable? Because I'm seeing a lot of people, not necessarily towards my price prediction, but a lot of people who are predicting upwards of 150, 200K are getting called out by people like Benjamin Cohen, who are saying that, hey, we don't have enough time to do that. I disagree. Yeah, I don't think we have enough time to go to 200K, but my prediction is 113K, right? And I think we have plenty of time to do that, and I'll tell you why. Okay, and this is accounting for diminishing returns as well. On the same date in 2013, right, we're at the 14th of November right now. On the same date in 2013, and keep in mind, guys, before I do this, there are so many similarities between these two cycles, right? So, this is basically repetition. So let's just get into this quickly before we actually get into anything here. We can see we bottomed out in July. In this cycle. We had a red September, 2013. We had a red September in this cycle. We moved upwards. We had a late October, early November correction. We've had that in this cycle as well. So that's 3 convincing data points. We also started moving up from the halving. Same thing happened in 2017. So the overall point, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but we are seeing repetition on a mass scale, and that's why the cyclical theory exists. Because overall, yes, it's not going to look exactly the same. Yes, the percentages aren't going to be exactly the same because of diminishing returns and slightly lengthening cycles, but on a general basis, the structure is the same, right? And so using that, we can kind of determine that, hey, where we were, in the 2017 and 2013 cycles relative to the current date is actually useful information. So where were we in the 2013 cycle on November the 14th? We were around here, right? November the 14th, we're at 431 USD. To the top, right? To the top, the price, wherever you want to measure to, I'll measure it to here. To the top from November 14th, 2013, we'll measure it to here. We took around 185%, and it took 20 days. Right, 185%, and it took 20 days. Let's go to 2017 now. All right, so that was 2013. 185%, it took 20 days. In 2017, and this one's a bit more convincing, right? Because we also had a similar pattern to what we're seeing now. We've had a red 9th, we've had a red 10th, red 13th, 11th, and red 12. And now we're moving upwards. This is the exact same structure we're seeing right now. Go look at the daily chart, exactly the same. So where were we on the 14th? Well, we were around down here somewhere. We'll measure it from the top, right? And we can scroll upwards and see where that actually led us to. So let's take a look at that real quick. We can see we moved up again around 200% this time, and it took 32 days, right? 200% in 32 days. How far do we need to move in this cycle, right? And this is adjusted for diminishing returns. How far do we need to move in this cycle to get to our price target, right? We need to move only 73% in 50 days. Right, so keep in mind, we had around 185% in 20 days or something like that in 2013. We had around 200% in, I think 30 days in 2017. And now we're seeing 73% in 53 days. So not only are we on track, some would say we're actually well on our way. And we really are, quite clearly going to make it, right? 73%. As opposed to the 183% and 200% made in the previous cycles to their all-time highs. Seems conservative. If we were to move 180%, which, we could even say that, hey, diminishing returns doesn't apply here, right? Because in 2013, we actually moved less than we did in 2017. If we moved 185%, let's just say that, 185%, we'll move to around 185K on Bitcoin, right? I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's too bullish. But, the point of the matter is that we're well on track. We have plenty of time to get there, and we have plenty of reason to believe that even with diminished returns, we have enough power to get there. 73% upwards on Bitcoin really isn't that much when you consider that November and December are historically the most bullish times in a bull market for Bitcoin, right? Look at the sharpness of the move in this last leg of the bull run in 2017. Very, very, very sharp. It moved very, very quickly, right? And then if you look at 2013, look at the sharpness of the move in November and December as well, right? Very, very sharp. We moved very, very quickly again. There's no reason why we won't be seeing that. From what I'm seeing on the charts, from what I've seen historically in this cycle again, I think that we're heading into the final leg of the bull market. I think that what we're doing right now is we're actually flipping this entire region here for support, and that's why we're stagnating in this region for so long. We're building a base, right? We're building a base, and we're going to be bouncing off of that base, in my personal opinion, and going towards our price target of 113k by or around January the 6th. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We're still on track. Hold in there. Obviously, though, I'm still going to encourage you to take a look at all the bearish indicators, take a look at everything bearish, because I don't want you guys to be blinded, right? A lot of people who are bullish on the market say that, hey, don't worry about any of this bearish stuff. We're still on track. Just don't worry about it. It's all good. I think that encourages confirmation bias, and that encourages you to blindside potentially important information, because this is not gospel. Okay, this is not gospel. This is simply extrapolation of data. Yes, it's convincing, but, you know, who's to say if it's actually factual or not? It could just be one big coincidence. You know, I think it's not. I think it's very, very, very likely that it's true, but it could be, right? It's always a possibility. Nothing is certain in this market. As I've said before, we work in probabilities, not certainties. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.